Hey Frank, I'm running through my demo for computer systems for semester 2. So my idea was to build an application that lets you interact with the LEDs on the Raspberry Pi through Blink. So you can send the RGB values and then take a photo through Blink and also through a web API. And the image would have a color filter applied over it based off the values that you've set on the LEDs. So I've done this through two separate Python files. So the first one that I have running here is the web API, which is listening on port 5000. I've set up a few routes here that I can show you in a while, and I also set up a small website through Flask using Firebase DB, which is also letting the latest image be shown on one of the pages. The other file here is the Blink application. So if I can just set that running, I'll mess around with the LEDs here and take a few photos so you can see exactly what's happening. So in terms of the Blink file, it's using virtual pins. The values are set to 0 at the start, and then it's picking up virtual pins, passing the values in here and setting the color of each of the pixels down here, setting all the pixels to whatever color is passed in. I also have a camera handler, which is taking the photo, is acting as the shutter for the camera. And I also have a joystick set up on Blink, which will let you also interact with the RGB colors. So at the moment, this is running and it's just saying that everything is set to 0. So if I was to take an image here through Blink, it'll tell us that the first frame has been taken. And you can see that we've had images populate here in these two folders. So the first one just being the normal image, and the second one, at the moment, it's just slightly different color because I have some alpha applied for when the color filter is going over. So it's not just totally opaque. So if I was to change this now, instead to be more of a red color, take another photo through Blink. Frame 2 has come in. You can see again that it's the same here. On the CV2 side, it now has a color filter applied. I'll just run through RGB, if you can see. More of a green color. And finally, a blue filter applied here. So if we were to look at Firebase, you can see that these files have just populated here in the storage and in the database itself. Also, I set it up that the user gets an email to notify that a new photo has been taken. So if we look in Gmail here, you can see that these 3 photos have now come in as well, just with a little description just to say your photo was taken today and the time it was taken. And the second part that I built with Flask was a small website, which is listening here as well. So at the moment, there's just a few ways to interact with that. So I have it that you can look at the latest photo, which will be the blue one here. You can see on the home page, it's basically just like a welcome page, but this button itself is actually listening and directing a route within the file. So if you look at the web API, this one is passing you the photo taken, which is linking into app functions. App functions is where I've set up the function to take the photo, set the color, interact with it with CV2, and then send the email to the user and also send it to the database as well. So that's where that's directing you. So for example, if I was to change the color again from what it was and take a photo with this, once Blink is still listening to me, it should just update for new photo. So I think Blink is just stopped there. Just stop it and restart it. It should be running again. Just take a photo with this now. See, it's changed again. Take another photo here. it's changed. And finally, the last tab that I set up is passing in the actual RGB values. So it's just telling you that at the moment it's 144, 200, and blue is 184. So that's what I got working in the end. I did try and get it streaming as well, but actually seemed to be taking too much resources from the camera. But I was happy with it overall. And thanks very much. It was actually very interesting to see what Blink can do and what the Raspberry Pi can do itself. I hope you have a nice Christmas, and I'm sure we'll be talking in the new year. Thanks very much.